Did you know that a slight tweak in your thought process will help you maximize that important tool we call the brain? Small tweaks can create great changes. Hola everybody, Eli's dad here. We're going to continue explaining the owner's manual for your brain today on Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and inspire. Tag along as I mentor my number one son to maximize the use of the subconscious mind. Now, the great trouble with most of us is that our demands upon ourselves are so feeble, our inner calling is so weak and so intermittent that it makes no significant or permanent impression on the creative energies we possess, the universe that is inside all of us. We typically lack the forcefulness and the consistency of thought that attracts the universe to transmit desire into reality. It's through our subconscious that we're able to make a wireless connection to the universal supply closet. For instance, if you want to order a product online, you must make the connection directly with the supplier. A mere thought or a desire without a currency exchange will not bring the delivery truck driver to your door with your package. In the same way, your currency to the universe is a consistent, burning desire for achievement, your belief. Anything less is a bounce check. Your subconscious mind is like a garden, and you must be very careful what you plant there. Every thought, every emotion, and every suggestion is a seed planted in the subconscious soil and will bring you the harvest that is planted. Now, whether the seed that you plant is poverty or prosperity, failure or success, happiness or misery, fruit or thorns, you will reap a harvest in kind. Every great inventor, every great discoverer, every great genius has felt the thrill of that inward force and mysterious power which has come to his or her aid in writing the book, painting the canvas, orchestrating the musical, composing the poem, or whatever he or she was trying to create or discover. The power of belief. The universal law is impartial and unemotional. When you're born, your thoughts and feelings are limitless because your mind is a clean slate. But as you mature, you are culturally reconditioned by recycling the thoughts that have been planted in your brain, whether they're true or whether they're not true. How then can we create more empowering thought? Well, Eli, the answer lies in what is deposited inside you. Let me give you an example from the great Dr. Wayne Dyer. What would happen, Eli, if you had an orange and you started to squeeze it as hard as you could? You get orange juice. Do you ever get apple juice? Does it matter if you squeeze it at noon or at 4 o'clock in the morning? Is the result different if your boss or your teacher squeezes it? The result's always the same. You get orange juice because that is what's inside the outer skin. Now, what happens when you get squeezed? I'm talking about the pressure, tension, anger, frustration. The difference between you, Eli, and an orange is that you can choose what kind of juice you have inside you. Are you happy, depressed, positive, negative, forward-thinking, creative? Now, I can't drink much orange juice because it's too acidic for me. I prefer a less acidic beverage. Now, aren't people exactly the same way, too acidic in their thinking? Make sure that your internal juice quenches your life's thirsts and doesn't cause heartburn for your dream. Now, what about the unsolved opportunity of anger? It would be great if you could just eliminate all angry thoughts from yourself and all the people around you, but guess what? Instead of eliminating anger, you need to practice the principle of replacement. Imagine your positive mental attitude as if it were water in a glass. Now, when the glass is empty, it has very little water, it's empty. You can't change the water level in the glass by waging war on the emptiness or trying to rip out the emptiness. The emptiness goes by filling the glass with water. Now here's a way to fill that glass and replace the anger with positive liquid. Now Eli, sometime in the future, I want you to close your eyes and think back to all the times in your life when something extraordinarily good happened to you. And jot it down, make a list, jot down the list. Let's call these experiences transformers. Now I went all the way back to the 5th grade for my first transformer. Other extraordinary experiences involve relationships with you, Eli, of course, a high school team that I coached, my dad, my mom, some sports achievements, a honeymoon or two, receiving awards, and so on and so forth. Now I thought of 27 different life events that gave me a smile so wide, you would have thought that I could eat a banana sideways. Now as human beings, we all experience a plethora of emotions. When you're feeling anger or resentment, take a time out. Close your eyes and revisit one of your transformers. Let me give you an example. Now years ago, Eli, I was coaching the Frosh soft basketball team at a high school in the Bay Area. Actually, it was Los Altos High School. And you know, when you have a Frosh soft team, you have some kids that are pretty good, some kids that are fair, and some kids that aren't so good. All right. Anyway, we're playing a game, and we're in a pretty close game, and one of my starters fouls out. So I look down the bench, and I see a freshman, and he had a pretty good week of practice. So I decided I'm going to give him a shot. His name is Scott. Unfortunately for Scott, the freshman, we had a starter on the team, and his name was Scott. So he didn't even get to keep his name. Okay, he got a nickname. They all have nicknames. And his nickname was Scooter. Scooter, get in there. Okay, so we put Scooter in the game. So we're in the beginning of the 4th quarter. And Scooter hasn't played a whole lot. He's nervous. Remember, he's just a freshman, like 13 years old, something like that, 14 years old. Every time the ball comes to him, he catches it, he passes it just like a hot potato. He's nervous as heck. Okay, finally, during the course of the game, he gets the ball, he's wide open, he's in a shooting position, he takes a shot. He misses everything. We call that an air ball. Anyway, the game continues, we're playing, and we get down, we get the ball, there's like 12 or 13 seconds left. It's a tie score. Timeout, timeout, timeout. I call a timeout. All the players come over to the bench. They sit down on the bench. I'm sitting in front of them. I know what they're all thinking. Okay, coach, what do we do now? 12, 13 seconds left. What the heck do we do now? We want to win this game. So I look down, I take my chalk out, I start writing on the floor, I look up at the kids. Now you remember the bleachers that they had in high school, the really steep bleachers? Well, we had those. All the kids are there, all the kids are staring at me. I look up at the kids, and right behind their kids, all of their parents are staring down at me too. And they're all thinking, what are we going to do now, coach? Anyway, I draw up the play, a play that they had already run because we had practiced for this scenario. You can't give kids something to do that they haven't already done in a pressure situation. By the way, that's true in life as well. So we call the play, I tell them what we're going to do. We're ready to break the huddle. I say, all right, everybody get your hands in here. What are we going to do? Win! All right, so everybody breaks the huddle, and just before they break the huddle, I grab Scooter, I turned to Scooter, and I said, you know, you're in the game because I trust you. So if you get the ball in a shooting position, take the shot. Now here's the strategy that you want to employ in a scenario like that. You want to have your best shooter shoot the ball with just about 6 seconds or so on the clock. The reasoning behind that is, first of all, you want to have your best shooter shooting, of course, gives you your best chance to make it. Secondly, if the shooter misses and there's a rebound, The rebound can come down to your team, and it gives them a chance to put the ball back in and win the game. On the other side, if the shot misses and it goes down to the other team, there's not enough time for them to take the ball and go all the way down the court and win the game. So it's a win-win situation for you. Either you're going to win the game or it's going to go into overtime. So that's the play. We call the play, get our shooter to get the ball with about 6 seconds to go, take the shot. Anyway, you already know what's going to happen here. Ball gets inbounded, 12 or 13 seconds left, the ball gets passed around. My best shooter takes the shot, he misses. The rebound goes directly to Scooter. 3, 2, 1. Scooter gets the shot off just before the buzzer, hits nothing but net. We win the game. Everybody jumps all over Scooter. He's got the biggest smile on his face. Had to be the greatest moment of his life up until that time. I hope he's had many more moments than that. Everybody was thrilled. Scooter's parents come up to me after the game and they said, "Coach, that was a great thing that you said to Scooter. Thank you very, very much. I know Scott will remember that for the rest of his life. Thanks again, Coach. We really appreciate it." Every time I'm in a situation, not every time, but some of the times I'm in a situation, that's one of the scenarios that I like to think back. Can you see how changing your focus from anger to a pleasant experience can rewrite your dynamic? Practice the principle of replacement. Remember, though, that everything has its place in life, including bad feelings, because without them, you'd never know what it's like to feel good. Now, Eli, your brain has similarities to a computer. You hit the keyboard with questions and you get answers. Here's what's different about your brain than most computers. Whatever question you ask, if you ask it with the expectation that you'll get an answer, if you ask it consistently and you give your brain time to search for the answers, you will get an answer. This is true even if your question does not have a basis in reality. This computer, your brain, will search its files and make things up to answer your question. For example, if you're to ask your brain, why do these things always happen to me? Your brain will take every possible form of input that people have said to you in your life, what you've ever said to yourself, what you've ever read or seen or heard on television, and produce an answer for you. If you ask yourself, how did I become so lucky? That will ignite a different set of emotions than your previous question, won't it? The feelings that you have are determined by what you focus upon. What you focus on is determined by the questions that you ask yourself. Ask and you shall receive. Good questions inform. Great questions transform. What are your habitual questions? Here's some help from the great Tony Robbins. Do you wake up and ask yourself what great things are going to happen today? Ask empowering questions. Instead of asking, for example, why am I so fat? Or why can't I learn? Ask, how can I become thinner and enjoy the process? Or how can I learn more? Your brain will persevere to give you an answer. If you're feeling poorly, examine your questions and rephrase them in a positive way. What's great in your life right now? What could you feel great about if you wanted to? Questions, too, are transformers. Unquote. Focus on what's possible and be creative in asking positive questions. How can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I expand from this? What can I take from this experience that will empower me? What can I learn from this so that I may never have to experience it again? What are you happy about or excited about or grateful or proud for in your life right now? Or what could you feel happy or excited about? How does that make you feel? Ask empowering questions, like what's the actual benefit of this outcome that I hadn't noticed? You'll begin to find benefits. Thank you, Tony Robbins. And my take on this, my addition is, when you do this, you change the spelling of impossible to I'm possible. Now, once the 4 dimensions of you, your physical body, your mind, your emotions, and the fundamental life energies are organized in one direction, anything that you wish for happens. Of course, you must assist it with activity, but the key is to keep your thoughts unwavering. The roadblock that is most frequently encountered is similar to you wanting to travel somewhere, and every few steps you continually change your direction. Your chances of reaching your destination are very remote unless it happens accidentally. If you don't know what you really want, the question and vision of creating it does not arise. Now listen to this quote from Stuart Wilde that I will leave in the description box below for you. The universal law of belief is the shipping clerk waiting for your clear and concise order. The currency with which you're going to pay for it is your belief. To create something with absolute certainty, you must establish the feeling within you that it has already happened, that the condition that you desire is already within you. This can be difficult because your mind, knowing nothing about the workings of the law, fights back. The conflict that develops confuses the universal law, which is about to deliver your heart's desire. Through your enthusiasm and belief, you energize the universal law and encourage it to deliver. Now, if doubt creeps in, do not allow it to dominate for long. Remember that it's just the mind fretting, not understanding, creating objections through ignorance, and whatever you have set in motion will happen. As you work with the power, it will have a way of showing you the next move at every turn. Believe in it. In other words, Eli, don't fake it till you make it. Fake it till you become it. To give a quick review, we previously discovered that the conscious mind can give direction to the subconscious mind. The advantage of that is that the subconscious mind can seek solutions unencumbered without the censorship imposed by our conscious selves, the conscious mind. Additionally, it's through the power of belief that we're able to enlist the partnership in the universe as we seek a particular outcome. The legal tender enabling this transaction is our burning desire and belief. After all, if we have some 60,000 plus thoughts every day, as the experts tell us, how is a cooperative seeking universe able to differentiate what is meaningful desire from our casual preferences? When we have that burning desire and the power of belief, it creates a sixth sense, allowing the universe to communicate with us through our subconscious mind and or to place things in their proper order. The sixth sense is a science that we cannot necessarily explain, but may utilize because we have seen a cause and effect outcome documented through similar activity by the 5%ers that have shared their success formula with us. Well, now you've been given the what you want to do. Next time, we will pinpoint the how to accomplish the ultimate partnership connection with the universe when we continue with the owner's manual for your brain. You don't want to miss that, so hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll be informed. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends. Our thought for today: our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. And that's a quote from Willie Shakespeare. I knew him personally. And because we never end a meeting on a philosophical note, get out there and charge. I'm Eli's dad.